This is a topic which is so very important nationally and globally for a variety of reasons. And before I come to the core aspects of the topic, let me mention three events or three programs which have happened over the past few years. First of all, India's major mission to remove open defecation and provide toilets for everyone was an amazing exercise. It provided a typical two-pit latrine toilet to everyone, and there's been an enormous reduction in open defecation. Now, this is very, very important, not only from an individual sanitation perspective or that of local communities, but of that of the environment. So that's one point which we must keep in mind. The second point we must keep in mind is in terms of access to toilets by the public in urban, semi-urban, other areas as they go around. There's an important principle which we must keep in mind. The toilet should be of such a quality and yet have such frugality and efficiency that it is attractive to use by every single socio-economic section, not just by the poor. All too often, toilet design focuses on what they, quote unquote, they need, not what we all need and use. This is a technological challenge because, while one can have something marginally functional, to have something which doesn't have smell, which odor, which is clean, which has place to wash yourself, clean your hands up, and do that on scale is a very big challenge. There have been many excellent attempts at this, partly successful, more successful, but this is an important challenge. The last point is why on earth IIT Palakkad? Why not an Indian Institute of Sanitation or a public health department of a city? Why should IIT Palakkad be involved in this? Now, there's one reason about Palakkad we'll come to, but the more general reason why a top institution needs to work on this topic comes from what I saw in 2012 at an exhibition in Delhi organized by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They're over here, our colleagues. And this was a global toilet challenge. And one of the winners of that challenge were people from the Astronomy and Astrophysics Department of the California Institute of Technology. They made and designed a toilet which was frugal, efficient, clean, and could be used by anyone. And it was amazing to see that, and also other winners over there. So the topmost scientific and technological institute in the world, people in a department completely unrelated to toilet, people who, quote unquote, were doing useless work, proved to be most valuable in toilet design. This highlights two very important things. One, the importance of what is often called useless, purposeless research. From that kind of exploring the universe comes ideas and technologies and mechanisms which can be applied to something as mundane and of daily value as the toilet. From that exhibition and from that period grew a company called Iran, which is present today, based out of Kerala, and which made toilets which have been extraordinarily valuable. And therefore, it is really appropriate that the Global Sanitation Center for Excellence be based at IIT Palakkad, collaborate with many companies, including ELM Scientific, and take the challenges which Ms. Anuradha Shankar so nicely summarized forward. Will we be successful? The short answer is of course, you will be successful. There's no doubt about it. Because when you embark on an impossible voyage, 90% of the victory is won. So great things will happen. But working in a manner which integrates into the environment in multiple ways will make that happen at a very rapid pace. And that is our challenge. How can we do things fast? For that, it is important that this Center for Excellence not just focus on what it wants to do, but also be sewn at the hip with IIT Palakkad and with the technological ecosystem all over the country. In other words, it should formulate a mechanism where it searches for demand and provides solutions and not be a place which has solutions in search of a problem. So many of our major centers for technology transfer to resource poor contexts, rural areas, and so on, often suffer from the situation where there are extraordinary solutions, but they connect with places where they can be used is small. And if there's a demand pull from these places, things happen. This is a very complicated challenge, and people such as us, scientists and engineers, often think of this as a technological problem. But actually, the technology is a modest component, maybe 15, 20%, 25%. The major component is techno-economic and management. A toilet, no matter how efficient, valuable, user-friendly, which has all the properties I said, if out of 1,000 people who use it a day or 500 people who use it a day, one person messes it up really badly, and that's a likely possibility, then, no one else uses it. No one cleans it up, no one uses it, and it becomes a place which, oh dear, the toilets don't work, they're not functional. So mechanisms of ensuring cleanliness and functionality, despite this 1 in 500 or 1 in 1,000 misuse, is a very big challenge. There are multiple ways to do that, and other countries have done it. Singapore has done it in one way, and we can do it in another way. And we have many contexts in the public sphere where toilets are reasonably functional, and other contexts where they are not. So those models are also important. So I would urge the Center of Excellence to also look at management issues on scale. Now, the next problem is, what is the scale at which we must address the problem? If the center tries to solve every problem on scale, it will be boiling the ocean. If it focuses entirely on few specific areas and does a good job, it will be a drop in the ocean. And our problem is that we don't want to be a drop, nor do we want to try and boil the ocean. But here too, I would say that there are multiple approaches, methods of communication, technologies, and national and global links, which can be done in a manner where a significantly strong management unit, which keeps its eyes on all the partnerships and links that you have, make sure that wherever there is success happening, that it can be further enhanced, and wherever there are problems, success can be ensured by correcting that. This requires, again, a dashboard and a management system, which is very important. I'd like to end by saying that this is not something which others have not tried. You have, the Toilet Challenge, you have the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, global organizations, people like Nimesh and Hari Menon and others have put in a lot of effort. They've succeeded in many areas, but they've also not managed to, quote unquote, solve the problem in an autocatalytic, scalable manner. And therefore, their wisdom, their experience, their learning, what is likely to work and what is not likely to work is something very, very important for the center. We must not fall into the trap, and therefore we must learn from them. We must not fall into the trap that just because there is a problem, we should not think that we are the solution. Analyzing the problem is important critically, but to solve it is a huge, huge challenge, and which is what you've taken up. And it's only those kinds of challenges which are worth taking up. There's no point taking something which is easily solvable. It would have been solved, or others can do it. But this is something very important. Now, from the point of view of an undergraduate education, there is, in reality, nothing more exciting as sanitation engineering, and sewage. And I say this seriously. Just as the world has taken up, big challenges such as the Webb telescope, which has gone up now, space, atomic energy, solar power, wind power, and so on. These are, at one level, very, very important and huge successes of science and technology. But while gazing up and looking at all these successes, if we fail to look down and see what is all around us, right next door, we would not be doing our society justice. But also, we are not doing our imagination justice. By taking a scoop of sewage and analyzing it under the microscope, looking at what organisms there are, right up to looking at behavioral sciences to see how people use toilets and how they can be, helped to use them better. There is so much exciting science which is truly world class, and these are, not trivial issues from a, critical scientific importance. There are, Nobel Prizes to be won looking at these kinds of problems in a variety of ways, in economics, in biology, in physics, and so on. So I would urge all our students to look down and look below and see these problems also as the most exciting. Thank you very much.